Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the NFT show. Today we're talking about how Solana NFTs are up and the markets are crashing. However, just as we started going live right now, there's been an unholy pump on Ethereum. No one here capitalized on that pump, but regardless, we're going to talk about all this stuff. Nothing in this video is financial advice. We are not financial advisors. The NFT space is insanely risky, so always do your own research. If you enjoyed the content, hit the like button, smash the subscribe button, share the videos with your friends, check out our shorts, check out all the stuff on the channel. And as always, all of our content. What are you doing? Oh, the shorts. Nick's got the shorts. He's got the Lululemon shorts. All of our content is sponsored by FTX. You can sign up at thenifty.com/FTX or with the code THENIFTY on your FTX mobile app. Gentlemen, what is going on? In the markets right now, crypto is way down. Apparently, ETH is pumping. Solana is still the talk of the town. All eyes were on Utes. And as things typically play out the way that they do in the crypto space, we ended up seeing a pump on some other Solana NFTs, specifically ABC. That was the big winner, not necessarily Utes. I mean, obviously Utes was a big win, but everybody expected
But on secondary, you know, like Utes, you could have maybe got at the bottom 110 or 160 versus ABC went from 20 to peaked at 85 today, Pio, back down around the 66. Still a 3X in 36 hours. And I think like a 5X if you got it in 3-4 weeks ago.
Pretty crazy.
Or maybe even a 10X if you got it in 3 or 4 weeks ago. Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty nuts. Like, I don't know. We keep talking about all the issues going on in the macro environment. Do we really think that we're going to continue to see NFTs hold, or do you think that they're going to pull back?
Nick, you want to go first?
Well, we're watching them pull back right now, so that's what's going on. I mean, it's that's continuing. We're really wondering, when will it end? You know, when will this stop? There's some, well, yeah, that's my general synopsis. I can go on about other subjects here.
You're a wake me up when September ends kind of guy, right? Wake me up.
Yeah, that should be the daily show at this point.
Theme song.
We did that last year. Literally in September, and we play that song. And
September was rough last year, dude.
It was not good, and we were just trading absolute garbage. I will say this ETH action is quite interesting.
Want to share your screen and chart it?
Well, before we do, there's Kickyverse. So were you involved in the making of that?
Yes.
Okay. So
I am loaded now.
Well, congratulations on that. We can look at this real quick if you want. I wasn't going to dive right into this. This is just what we saw, this breaking news. Look at this wick, huh? What a wick. You went from this wick to this wick. Just an insane, incredible wick. So we have these two back-to-back wicks. I just want to really zoom in and emphasize the fact of how these wicks have gone down. Just one turned upside down. It's basically like the Pisces symbol here. So we're yin yang.
Yep.
And we got the yin and the yang. We got the negative. We got the negative and the positive. Yep. We got the two sides. And so I'm liking the way that this is structured. I don't know how this plays out. A lot of people talk about all the lines that I have. Lots of people. Just ignore those, okay? There's some key lines down here, but it's been sitting in this range for a bit, and frankly, it's been spot on. This level was key. This level was key. We broke above it just now. Next target, 1664, if you want to, or 1665, if you want to scalp off this. I wait on the daily close on these things, but with this range, using the daily chart doesn't make a whole ton of sense. This spike was insane, though, for yesterday. Could you imagine having entered in here, you're at 1618, spikes all the way up to 1700, basically, and then just collapses.
To 1500.
And you're basically sitting there being like, what happened? I just got absolutely smashed. And the day before, it couldn't make it above that. You just got to wait for those daily closes. We're going to have to do the same thing here. What I was going to say is, The real trade that would have been here, and I don't know what's driving this at the moment. My general consensus among myself is that Russia, which had talked about cutting off the pipeline, turns out that they need money. So if they stop selling oil or natural gas, then they're not going to have revenue to fund the war that they're participating in. So if you were going to take a counter trade to that news, which is Russia's going to shut off all the energy, that to me seems like not a bad trade, only because logically it doesn't make a ton of sense. Like, what are they just going to shut off all the country's cash flow for like months on end? That just doesn't make sense.
Well, and the nice thing, Nick, with Ethereum going to proof of stake, it doesn't need as much energy. So it really is immune to Putin could shut off all the gas and it's not going to affect Ethereum.
Big brain.
Because they don't need that energy to mine all of those sats. I think that what you just shared about the market, could you zoom out a little bit? I think what you shared about the market on the ETH side is pretty much identical to what I've been seeing on NFTs, which is that it is a trader's market, not an investor's market. And like what I mean is like if you got in July 18th, right? You could have very easily bought right around the range that we are right now, right? So if you're an investor, right, you've been holding for almost 2 months and you're right where you are, right? Now, if you're a trader and you bought there and you sold at 2,000 and you bought at 1,429 and you sold at 1,600, right? You're doing great. But as in all markets, like being an investor, a long-term investor is kind of tough right now. But being like a trader is great. And I think the same thing is what we're seeing with NFTs. Like Easy's doing great. It's a trader's market. Easy's doing really, really well. But like people that are like buying blue chip assets, right? Because they're like theoretical stores of value and then just sitting on them, they're getting slowly chopped and bled out, right? So like when I'm looking at the NFT markets right now, I'm looking at it as it's all narrative based. So I think really strong narratives have 2 to 3 weeks and then they die off. Like if you look at Digi right now, right? 2-3 weeks of really strong narrative, went from free to mint all the way up to 16 ETH. Now, if you combine the airdrop plus the thing, it's at like 10.5 ETH, right? So it's pulled back pretty significantly because just the narrative only has so much momentum. Like shorter term trades that don't have a lot of momentum are maybe like 2 or 3 day narrative trades, right? When you look at, you know, why is ABC pumping? Why is a lot of Solana having a 2x? Well, there's an easy narrative there. Utes creates a lot of liquidity. This new liquidity on Solana invests in other Solana projects like pump, right? So in the market that we're in right now, I'm on the NFT side looking at it very much from a trader mindset. So I'm trying to think like, where are the narratives forming? How long will they last, right? Am I getting, you know, a good entry? And then I'm making my moves. I'm not chasing, right? So like I thought the Utes Yacht Club free to mint on Ethereum was funny, and if I had been able to get in at like 0.01, you know, I probably would have. But I'm not chasing that at 0.15, right?
Oh,
and
definitely.
I think that's something where does that have a narrative that lasts 2 or 3 weeks, like what happened with Rare Pepe, which had a huge pump. Like Rare Pepe kind of was in the conversation for at least 2 weeks, right? And had some good moves. So that's how I'm looking at it.
So we got a couple, I like that synopsis on the NFT side, operating the same side, the trader's market as you just described it. It is tough. When you look at the weekly, sorry, I meant to be on ETH for this one. My apologies. When you check out the weekly on this, it actually looks pretty damn positive, right? Like this is, it's still overall bearish because we're coming down off of this. We had resistance rejected, so we're still operating below that. But this other higher level here is coming up pretty significant. You may need to mute yourself when you're typing on that keyboard, by the way.
Sorry, man. I forgot. It's bouncing back really hard.
It's quite a.
I was trying to get a lot of like real instant reaction on those keys, you know.
Is that a special keyboard?
Mechanical. It's great for video
so you
games. Got
a mechanical keyboard. Really good for when you're running a podcast. So they say get a loud click on there. It's bouncing back. Sorry, man. It's just just incredibly bouncy today, my keyboard, I've noticed.
Really I oiled it over the weekend.
Shocking. Shockingly bouncy. Wasn't expecting it to bounce in that way, but it's just an incredible situation.
We've done that before.
So in terms of, at this point, this is such a weird structure. I'm liking, if you can get this, last thing I'll say on this, if you can get this sort of thing and you can get this sort of thing, if we can get this to go up, then I'd start saying, well, this is interesting. If we could get a little run up here, break over through this up to 2,200, I'd like to see something like that. This is a very nice structure for ETH. So that's kind of how I'd be generally looking at this right now. If you want to make the trade, at this point, I mean, we haven't seen how this plays out, but I mean, you could try and aim for this sort of run up here. A lot of people were expecting the drop down to 700, 730 sort of level down here.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that those moves up can happen, violently and quick. I mean, there's just so much money on the sidelines, ours included, because it's just out there in the macro. There's like two camps, right? There's camps that are kind of like, hey, we got bad news, but the bad news is slowly but surely getting behind us, right? And as we work through the rest of this bad news, then it's, really upside from there. Then there's this other camp that's like basically like this is a 2008 style collapse. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that's why it's hard, right? To like have the investor mindset, right? Because when you think about like, exactly, like a year ago, if you could get ETH for 1,500, people would be lining up, left and right to do it. Now it's just like, I don't know, like literally is the European energy market going to literally explode on itself, and take everything down with it?
I would bet against full collapse. That's always a conversation. If you think back to COVID, we went through, I did a lot of worst case scenario leading to panic attacks, basically, but speculating, well, if this thing, what's the next domino that needs to fall in order for society to end up completely on its back and completely screwed? And generally speaking, we somehow make it around that over the short term. On a short-term basis, society wants to run. And now I think, what happens when you get water shortages? What happens when you get rolling blackouts and all these other sorts of things that are a result of not having enough power because the average temperature is higher? These are all things that you could theorize about. It's not imminent. It's not today.
Well, in California, you may be having some blackouts.
Yeah, you may be having some blackouts. They've had that before. I was just thinking about that, though. Like, how do people remain in?
Were you just sick and tired of him? Pio was like, dude, this guy's I'm done with him. Get him out of here.
I was literally hanging on every word that he said.
That was so ridiculous. Holy shit.
Did you exit out of TradingView and you exited out of this?
I clicked on leave. Instead of stop share, I left the studio.
You just left the thing in mid-passionate rants. Keep going.
I was going to say, if someone... if there's rolling blackouts or something like that, how do people remain in office, like in those scenarios? Like, isn't it, there's a few fundamental things that you expect in society, right? Yeah. Like, we expect power.
Shelter.
Clean water.
Yeah.
There's like certain things that you expect to function. And we're not getting it's just
Nick,
shocking to me.
I thought the exact same thing about the Federal Reserve. I mean, think about it, right? The people that are in charge of completely messing this up financially over the last 2 years are the same ones in charge of fixing it. Like, imagine a professional sports team, Pia. Like, imagine your favorite basketball team. If they just had a dumpster fire, like they just messed things up in such an incredible way.
Like the Celtics in the finals.
The GM, the head coach, they would all be out. They would gut the whole thing. You know what I mean?
Get out of here. Meanwhile, Newsom's like a celebrity over in California.
Yeah, well, and it depends.
Guy's a bozo.
Okay, so it was interesting to see how they discuss him on the All In podcast, listening to that. But
those guys are bozos, dude.
No, it's because they literally hang out with them. So that's like it's basically everyone's like hating somebody until you're at the same cocktail party, and then they're like talking about when they're like at what. This is how power corrupts, though. Yep. This is the exact system for how that goes down. Once you're at that table with those people, suddenly you're like, wait, hold on, what do we get to do? Like, what's the scam that we get to mutually participate in? And then you're like, oh, okay, yeah, like I'll just go and do that. So, anyways, I think regardless.
Witters said y'all are still doing these. Yeah, we are, Witters. Why are you throwing shade? Watch out, Witters. We're here. No, but like,
survived like 9 bear markets. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody's taking us down. Even some of the influencers on Twitter that believe that I'm inappropriate for calling, project founders terrorists. Okay.
That was the fun. Like when the people were like, yo, we gotta cancel this guy. He's saying he's gonna buy the ISIS NFT. It's like, all right, guys, get a sense of humor for a second. Like, come on now, guys. Come on. Things aren't that serious. Nick's not literally going to the Middle East.
Supporting ISIS. Like, suddenly it's like, well, I bought the NFT and now suddenly I'm situated in Syria, part of this civil war over here that I'm fighting in because I bought this NFT. It's just very interesting.
The very successful Web3 entrepreneur and Jewish ISIS convert. Okay, we got off the rails here. So NFTs. NFTs.
Well, I mean, there's been a lot. Yeah, since we last spoke on Friday, Utes, of course, the number one, biggest news event happening over in Solana. All 3 of us got Uted up.
Going.
And that floor sits at 156. And I think I predicted that I was going to come out at like 80 or 90. So that just shows how much you should rely on my prediction.
I said they're worth 70 or 80.
Yeah. Well, the interesting thing is technically you may not be wrong, right? Because usually in these scenarios, when the reveal happens, floor price, goes down a little bit, and then like the rares kind of take some of the market cap. So wouldn't be surprised to see like a little bit of a post-reveal dump. But I mean, looks like it did a lot of volume. There's now almost 50% unique owners.
Good sign.
That's pretty significant. And there's 2,500 like new owners if you minus out DGods that have now came in. Ton of volume on the project already. And then of course it seems like it led to some additional action on other Solana projects. Interesting thing I noted earlier on Twitter is that right now 4 out of the top 10 projects on OpenSea is Solana. So 40% over the last 24 hours.
And also the volume of Solana is in the process of almost flipping Ethereum. So over the past 24 hours, I posted out a tweet about this, got a lot of engagement over it. Although then suddenly a bunch of people went in and bought Ethereum NFTs just to screw up this number. But it's actually within shooting distance at this point. So Ethereum past 24 hours, 10 million. Solana now up to 8.67 million. Wow. So we're within 1.3 million difference of Solana, which is just absolutely huge when you consider, how much has been done on Tezos in the past 24 hours?
How much?
Any guess?
60 grand.
Yeah, 200K.
36K.
Damn.
So we did more sales in for our own podcast than Arbitrum did in NFTs in the past 24 hours, basically. So
well, here's the thing. I mean, I don't think anyone could dispute this. At least currently, things obviously can change in the future. But Solana has solidified itself as the number 2,
without question,
NFT blockchain. And I think when you look at the blockchain, like strategically, like you can tell that they understood that NFTs are really big, and they put a lot of emphasis on that. I mean, they even had they funded a lot of projects to get over Solana, right? They've been really aggressively funding that whole ecosystem, and it looks like it's starting to pay off in a big way. And people that really bet on it earlier are definitely getting rewarded. But like Pio, you and I, we started on Nifty Gateway. Then we moved to OpenSea. Yep. It's not crazy to think we could be trading on Magic Eden,
Yeah.
Like my whole thing at the end of the day is I'm going to go where the action is, right?
Everyone
like
is. Like,
Yeah,
Same here.
The only maxis in the NFT space are the Solana guys. And no one knew what an ETH maxi was until the Solana guys started calling people ETH maxis. And I was like, ETH maxi? What are you talking? What does that even mean? And they're just like, you ETH maxis, blah blah blah. I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? We're like NFT people. I don't really know what you're talking about. But Solana is, in my opinion, poised to dethrone Ethereum in terms of action. I think that people like art blocks and stuff will probably just keep dropping on Ethereum because they have the built-in collector base and everything. But if more people like Frank and the DGod squad that just raised money from FTX, the only way that their fundraise, their funding round would have been more interesting is if A16Z was in it. That's the only way, in my opinion. I don't care about the dollar amount at all.
I do.
Say it again.
I definitely do. I mean, if they came out and said we raised $100 million,
okay,
versus $7 million, I would say it would be a significant difference.
Did they want to do that?
I'm not saying that they wanted to. I just don't know that. Like, the bottom line was, it wasn't there was a distinction between, did they absolutely crush it with this funding round? My answer for that is yes. Is that funding round particularly relevant to DGods and Utes? My answer to that is no. And I think that that's basically the main disconnect with that situation. But it doesn't really matter. I mean, ultimately at this time, all the market action is on these NFTs. So if you want to be trading and making money in this space, it seems like participate in this ecosystem. And frankly, that was not intended as a pun to go with Frank, but so what's number one at this point? DGods, and it's 15 SOL? Oh, sorry, 50 SOL? 500 SOL?
Like the number one floor price. Yeah, I think that
500 SOL, right? Or actually, no,
it's at 428 right now. But dude, I'm telling you, I just love the charts over here. Like, just like looking like I'm surprised, Nick, you're not all over this stuff, because like you could get more trades than you could on crypto. Like, look at Kikiverse and then look at the analytics on it, and you can just see it like touches the trend line, bounces off. Like, I guarantee you there's algos trading the crap out of this, and especially probably on Solana since it's gasless.
It's also fascinating to me the way that they generate those charts, how that ends up showing up like proper when there's huge gaps in time sometimes between these trades. Can you click on one of them, like Kikiverse?
Sure. Kikiverse, not ABC or Utes?
Yeah. Well, it was the one that he just mentioned. So analytics. How did you get to that leaderboard? Because I couldn't find it on the site. So
Popular collections.
That's a hell of a chart.
Yeah. But yeah, even when you scroll, like, and then you can scroll in, you can see the timing, but like, you can see like coming back towards the trend line at 2, you could have bought there and still got a 3x.
Like right here?
Yeah.
So if you perfectly timed it right there, yeah. No, but if you timed it as it bounced above the trend line, then I like that. A breakout above, buy into that, you would have had a real nice pump there.
Yeah,
nice little 2x there.
Like once you see it break through with volume, because you can see the volume went from like nothing to like picked up for 2 candles. You could have gotten in below 3 and you got yourself a 2x in like 6 hours.
So this is something that I'm wondering about here, because this mindset around this sort of charting, this sort of analytics, to me, it generates more action, more liquidity as a result of seeing this, because there's more trades that end up going down. You end up looking at this chart and you want to trade it more often. But what does the NFT market look like in that world? Because I once said, the great Nifty Nick once said that NFTs are way more fun to trade than stocks, right?
Yep.
And one of the best parts of it is you can trade based on the pictures.
Yep.
And so you're looking at it, you're saying, I like that picture. That's cool, whatever. I don't give a shit about like the fundamentals of this. I just think this thing looks cool. And there's some price action here. So there's a pulse. What is this market like in that sense? Because when I saw this with, when you look at the real-time stuff with Utes, and you go to the tubes and you go to the real-time version of it, the pro trade area, what you'll see is, and actually maybe Pio, you can do this real quick if you want to pull that up, is the tubes. Yeah.
Tubes.
Yep. So if you just go to there, and you go to pro trade, what you'll see is two things. One, on the 15 minutes, like a couple of dots. Mine didn't even have that many dots on my screen, so I don't know what the hell's going on. Maybe you have it wider there, because
15 minutes.
I only see one dot. So anyways, and then you see this action here, but on the left-hand side, this isn't a wall. These are all the recent sales on the left-hand side. It's 7 minutes, 11 minutes, 25 minutes. It's just not the same as like if you were trading crypto, but this is directionally heading. All the analytics, all the tools, everything else that we're looking at is directionally towards a market where there's rapid fire trading. And so I'm sort of wondering, while there is rapid fire trading, which happens particularly or primarily around drops, the same way that a lot of the action in the stock market happens around earnings, I'm wondering, like in news events, what is the primary, like, are we moving, do we think that we're moving on this in this NFT market to that type of volume, that type of action where we're all trading at like an incredibly fast pace?
I think that the traders market right now largely lives on Solana, and it is the kind of NFT hot potato that a lot of people are not a fan of, but the traders are a fan of, because a lot of this stuff, so Utes has actual foundation, actual backing. Soulport Tom and the Tayo Robotics Squad, you know, there's belief that there's actual backing there. Solana Monkey Business, right? But like random ass pictures don't really like have that much value to me, besides that people think that that's a good one right now. It's brand new. They buy in with the intention of selling it a little bit afterwards. So I do think that like hot potato NFT trading will largely operate on Solana for the time being, as more substantive creators migrate to Solana. And realistically, the younger folks will move to Solana, just like the younger folks started building on Ethereum, not Bitcoin. The younger folks, I think, will build on Solana or another blockchain, not Ethereum, where the old fat cats will keep trying to make it work on Ethereum and keep trying to extract value there. Unless people on Ethereum keep working hard, besides Bored Ape Yacht Club, Kevin Rose, and insert like 4 other people there isn't going to be enough incentive to build on Ethereum if Solana is more interesting. I don't know, Kix?
That's building. I'm just wondering about the trading side of things. That's the thing that I'm trying to figure out, is like, are we headed to this fast pace, lots of liquidity, lots of trading action? And what is that market? Like, I don't know. I originally said it's better than stocks, but now I'm seeing this manifest, and I'm just thinking, does this actually make sense?
Yeah, I mean, when you look at like other markets, like for example, daily fantasy sports, right? And Nick and I have a draft later tonight, right? That's a multi-billion-dollar market with zero fundamental value.
Well, fundamental value is that people like having fun. It provides fun. Just like a video game.
Exactly. So if you, going through my drafts this week, I kind of thought like you could definitely see like NFT kind of ecosystems and trading things that is like very similar to like fantasy, right? Where there's like, you can do a draft, or you can every week you can have a different team, right? And you can be playing on DraftKings or whatever like that, right? Like there's going to be stuff like that NFT founders probably figure out how to unlock. Because like right now we are trading them, there's people trading them just like stocks, right? There's day traders and NFTs, and then there's like long-term holders and investors. So I think, yeah, this is very similar to any other sort of like, speculative kind of, for a lack of a better word, like gambling market. So like when you look at, fantasy, when you look at equities, like I think we're going to see a lot of like similarities between those things.
Yeah, okay.
It was a sudden end to your sentence. I couldn't tell if you're going to keep going.
Dude, your lighting is so dramatic. I got to add that as well. I mean, it's just like pretty incredible. He's just sitting there. Well, now he's adjusting it. But no, like when your face is to the side.
Exactly like here.
Exactly. Yeah.
The lighting and the ending on an are power alpha moves that my life coach has been teaching me lately.
Got it. Okay. So, well, you're learning. Maybe what? So, how's that impacting your dating life, there, Kix?
No comment.
So, in terms of, I don't know. Anyways, I went on a little tangent there associated.
I know
with
what you're saying though, Nick. Is like at the end of the day, like, do NFTs have like the amount of liquidity like that you would see on like the stock markets, where there's just tons of action, there's tons of things moving. There's lots of, because that's kind of what you feel a little bit in the bear market, is there's just not as much things happening or things that you can do, right? And you also can't short NFTs, at least not easily. So there's like half of the equity market not tapped.
Like, good luck selling something that's not at floor on any project right now. Like, you just can't do it
unless you can like work, like you're like a master trader in Discord where you're like trading with these.
You're a salesperson at that point.
Yeah.
You're literally like going door to door to sell.
Door to door. Like, hey, you interested in this? Is the super rare.
It's like, let me tell you about this one, okay? It's like, you look at that one, all the traits, they're rare.
There you go.
They're rare.
There it is.
That's like a full sell me this pen. That stuff is so rare. I don't know if you guys remember, I made a sale of over 10K ETH equivalent overnight, completely unexpected, like four weeks ago, because of a news event related to the NFT. It had been listed for a while, completely random. Liquidity dried up within a week of that. I was like, it's so crazy how this game works sometimes with sales. You know what I mean? If that thing wasn't listed, that's a difference of 10 grand in my life. It's kind of nuts, real quick, I want to shout out a member of our community. I just want to shout him out real quick because he's putting in the work and it's showing. So this is Rust from our community, an artist. He is influenced by Xcopy, but I love the angles that he takes. Really, I feel like coming into his own with this glitch style artwork. Looks like already there's several bids on this one. It's up to 0.12. If you look at his collection, he's got 10 ETH now of secondary volume. He's 59 pieces in. And look at this activity. There's sales every day. My mouse is tripping.
Yeah, I'm like, what? You're like, look at this activity and like sending it up and down. I'm like, I can't even look.
Dude, I got to get a new mouse. It's like bugging me. Anyway, look at these sales, $350. That's a decent sale. Then 48. It's like, okay, but he'll take it. Then 448. Then another 48. He'll take it. Then 732. Then 48. All right, I'll take it. 256, 488, 569, 732.
What? These are numbers.
I'm just pointing it out there because I see a lot of people that operate in like sort of an entitled way. And when I see him, I see zero entitlement and I see proper grind and just genuine participation and presence in a community, specifically our community. And look at how it's starting to pay off. And then he made a custom one, or he made one that was inspired by Benjamin. That prompted Ben to tweet about it. Nice marketing strategy right there. That attracted new people as buyers. I mean, it's like, wake up, everybody. You got to put in work if you want to see success. And he's doing this during a bear market.
That's what Alpha Centauri did, was this approach, and ended up going after specific punks and things like that, where he put them into the piece and then ended up selling some incredibly high-priced pieces. Other people then jumped in, so the price was pretty high. But anyways, yeah, I mean, putting in that grind.
I love to see it, man. I just get so jazzed up when somebody's actually got that real shit, no bullshit, just like that real shit. And
that real.
For him,
real.
For him to come out of our community, I'm just jazzed up. So this is a tangent. This is on ETH. So this guy's working on ETH. I know
should be on Solana.
Yeah, Easy's been buying one of one Solana art. So I don't know if that's going to be the next move or whatever. I think a lot of the art, the whales are still uncomfortable with Solana, but give SBF another 3 years on that, and it might be a different story. I know SBF isn't literally the owner of Solana, but yeah. Anyway.
Hey Pio, why are you so far from the camera?
You guys are way close to the camera. I'm just gonna. You guys can work with my hand. There we go.
I just zoomed in. It's a better profile for me.
I can't even get that close. I'd have to literally grab the camera and bring it to me. Wrapping up.
Let's wrap with. Is there any leaderboard related stuff that we wanted to cover here?
leaderboard, like regarding to what NFTs are leaders and stuff like that. Nick, that is a great frame for Nick. That's a great frame.
Beautiful.
Look at this guy.
Look at this frame.
Crushing it.
Have you seen a frame like this?
Well, I think it's interesting right now, just like, looking at the last 24 hours and the top projects. I mean, let me just list them off real quick.
Go.
ABC Abracadabra on Solana, then Utes Yacht Club on Ethereum, then Utes on Solana, then ENS, then Artifact Clone X Forging Season 1, then Kikiverse on Solana, then Other Deeds, Yuga Labs, Gangster All-Star Evolution, then Clone X, and then
ACK. That's who Alpha Centauri.
Yeah, Alpha Centauri. Just pretty interesting, right? Like, I mean, that's not a lot of top projects not in that leaderboard. Seeing a lot of Solana stuff, and then seeing some other new projects.
Alpha Centauri just sold a piece for 201 ETH, $326,000.
Damn.
That's how it goes.
Dude, look at this one. Pale, like literally, look at this.
Share the screen.
Okay, shit. Now this just got very complicated. Hold on one second. Okay, I'm gonna share this. Okay. I'm loading it up. This one is called Pale Blue Death, a color study.
Nice. Alpha Centauri Kid, ACK.
I mean, how did this go down? 201 ETH.
Woo, 14 hours ago. Congratulations.
Let's see the picture. That's cool.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely worth hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Might be.
Easily.
Might be.
The one thing I still love about OpenSea is that it shows you Solana projects like in ETH. So you can see that ABC was like ranging at 0.3 ETH for like a week, and now it's at 1.2. So big 4xer there.
People are saying this is going to get burned.
Oh.
Really?
Look at this. People are saying it got burned.
It does say burn address.
Huh.
But I think that's the person's username now.
Check it out.
Well, this page is just stuck.
Because it's a burn page.
Wait, what?
To burn address.
Yeah, it's a null.
Whoa. Why?
Who's GVG.eth?
What, does he own a big bag of other alpha people? Alpha Centauri? He's got XCOP. Dude, this guy. Look at this shit. Ooh. Wow. Who is this guy? Wait, let me see the rest of this stuff.
Who's he?
Let me see the rest of this stuff.
This is him. About 30 minutes until it goes live, fam. Just want to remind this 24 hours. I'm good. Got mutual funds and stock.
AMC stock.
Just listed this for 201 ETH. Dare someone to buy it and burn it.
There's a recap that's just got pinged in our Discord.
What the hell?
I'll send the
Solid
chat.
Here it is.
Some people
Let me try to
playing a different
recap
game.
the last 40 hours or so of what's been going on. Without any warning, Alpha Centauri Kid set up a free claim for badge holders, but with a certain caveat. If the piece got listed, transferred, sold, or did anything other than that in your wallet, it would force an open edition for 24 hours. Okay. Now fast forward an hour or two. Someone shocks the community with a 6969 listing suggesting this was decided and willed long before me. I was simply a vessel. I love you all. Of course, with the listing, this triggers the open edition. Less than an hour or so afterwards, Alpha Centauri Kid lists a corresponding one of one for 201 ETH, daring someone to buy the piece and burn it. In less than 5 minutes after the listing, the real GVG, a staunch supporter, swoops in to buy the one of one for 201 ETH and proceeds to burn it. Before heading off to bed, Alpha Centauri Kid leaves us with the following message. I already resurrected one piece from the dead. Not going to do it again. There's a different story to tell now. Always trust the muse. I'm passing the fuck out. Shout out to GVG for being an absolute Chad. Good night, fam. Holy fucking shit. Open edition at 4:20 p.m. Central. Oh, that's in 15 minutes. For some time now, and he's always been trying to experiment and push. And this is going to be on Manifold. I don't know how you end up getting this. So now it seems like about 30 minutes until mint goes live. Just want to remind this 24 hours, so no need to rush. You can mint at your own convenience.
So yeah, just recap this for my simple brain. So he said, if someone lists this piece, I'll do an open edition of this same piece. So then someone bought the piece from him for $300,000 and then burnt it so that he'll do an open edition on the same piece for everyone else?
No.
I set up a free claim, but if you list it for sale before the piano collection drops, March 2023, I will make these an open edition. So please don't, because I don't want to have an open edition.
So he introduced a mechanic that, does not, it doesn't encourage selling, but the buyer did sell it, or was it an offer that was accepted?
This is a completely separate thing. Now some other event happens, listed a corresponding one of one ETH. So this was the original one, basically. And so, but I don't understand what the dare is about. Maybe someone can explain. We now got multiple small brains here. So it just seems like...
And if a bunch of people could claim it, then don't a bunch of other people also own the same piece that got burnt? Or...
I don't understand what this has to do with the other open edition. Whoever did this recap, OX Speedy JJ, not hiring you for writing a newsletter here, because it's just, I don't understand what the hell went on here.
Questions than answers?
No, hey, look, OX Speedy.
Hey, here's a recap. I'm going to give you like 3 random pieces of information. And you solve the puzzle.
Hey, OX Speedy JJ, don't feel bad, man. You keep writing your recaps. You keep doing your thing. This one maybe it could have been a little bit clearer, but
well, hey,
yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, we're talking about it, so this was a good marketing event for AKC and all the people that ACK that like all this stuff.
Shout out to ACK for doing innovative shit, I think.
For maybe doing innovative things.
I'm like, honestly, I feel like I'm just like I'm confused. Like they're outplaying me. Like I'm playing checkers and they're playing chess. Like I just don't understand.
For sure.
I interviewed this guy. We could bring him on the show, Alpha Centauri Kid. He came on. It may be the only interview that he did, and I don't even know if I published it. I'm going to go look up, see if I actually published it. I thought I did. But basically, this guy was just like making memes and stuff, and then just started creating art. And he was doing it of other people in the space. He had G-Money, Sergito, and some other people who were, or Sergio, but he had some of these people that he was creating art for, and then it went viral, and then he got picked up by a major collector, and I'm blanking who it was. It could have been 6529 that ended up doing it.
Let me see the rest of this guy's featured stuff, and go ahead, continue.
This is it.
Oh, that's all? Just the X copy? That's all he's got? No, ACK.
Oh, shit.
What else he's got? So he's got a big bag of ACK. So him doing this was like a press move to pump. I mean, but like, you know what I mean? Like this brings a lot of attention to ACK. He already has a bunch of ACK.
I mean, he's got a lot of things. He got some cryptodes. He got some punks in here. He got a chromey squiggle, more X copy, a V1 punk, another cryptode.
Is that a DK? Is that DK Motion X copy tribute right there?
It says X copy.
Click on it. DK Motion. That slaps. That's 5 ETH. Is there like a high supply on that or something?
No, I mean, but dude, this is like an e-liquid.
There's 20 of them. That's why.
This is within that collection.
Damn.
This was months ago, though.
Yeah, I just think it's a crazy piece.
So he's got a good collection here. Congrats to this guy. Clearly, he also has a lot of money.
Yeah.
I mean, just burned $300,000.
That Pepe Reaper. Woof.
He's got some Wicked Apes in here.
Wicked Ape Bone Club. He bought that one for 1 ETH.
Wicked Ape Bone Club. I love that. That was such a good memory.
A simpler time.
Double derivatives.
Fame Lady Squad.
Well, here we are. So this is all
Bloot. Got a Bloot, baby.
This is all this guy's stuff.
That's good. That's probably 0.649 he paid for this.
Best offer is $8. When's the last sale on this shit? 9 days ago. Elite.
I mean, it's kind of crazy that there was all the, someone came in and swept it.
Yeah, I love that sweep.
I mean, this is a promising project.
Well, sweet. We end on Bloot.
Who saw that one coming? I didn't have that on my bingo card earlier today. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we hope you enjoyed the show. As always, hit the like button, smash the subscribe button. I'm going to go on to Bell and NFT Girls space right now. I was invited, and Nick and Kix were not. I believe Mando's on that show, so it's going to be fun hanging out with him without you two. And yeah, it's all about content creation, something that you two would know nothing about. So I'm very excited to go and do that. Nick, this is, so if I had asked Nick if he wanted to come on this show, he would have said, I don't have time. I can't do that. But now he's like pissed. He's getting FOMO.
Reverse psychology.
Oh yeah, this is reverse. He's going to crash the show. They're going to let him on stage and then he's going to talk over me because he's got a punk.
Good times.
Bye.